Tonight we're going to take a look at a fragrance from the house of Estee Lauder. This one is called Intuition for Men, and it's funny because I actually bought two scents from this house around the same time, Sensuous Noir and this one. And really, they're both reviewable. Both are very good scents, and my takeaway with them is that this house does very high quality fragrances. So if you have questions about Sensuous Noir, which reminds me a bit of Velvet and Black Orchid by Tom Ford, Velvet Orchid and Black Orchid, feel free to ask because I really do like that scent. But for this review, we're going to take a look at Intuition for Men. And you guys know how we do over here. Let's talk about the house of Estee Lauder. This is what we do anytime that I review a house for the first time. Lauder goes back to the 1940s, 1946 specifically, when Joseph and Estee Lauder started the company. Estee had gained tutelage from her uncle, who was in the skincare and cosmetic business. He was a chemist. That's just what he did. And the sort of tagline of the company initially was that every woman can be beautiful. And at first, really, the house was all about cosmetics, and more specifically, selling cosmetics door to door. But in 1948, they opened their first official counter up at Saks Fifth Avenue. Their first fragrance was released in 1953, and it was called Youth Dew. It was actually sold as a combination bath oil and perfume. And evidently it's still a bestseller for the company even now. In 1964, they launched Aramis, a division for men's products and fragrances, and over time they have acquired over 25 brands and put them under their cosmetic umbrella. And today they have brands like Tom Ford, Jo Malone, MAC, Clinique, and Origins in their portfolio. Estee Lauder passed away in 2004, but her sons now lead the company, and her granddaughter, Erin, A-E-R-I-N, is the brand's senior vice president and creative director, and they recently put out a line of fragrances called Erin. As far as fragrance goes, as we said, the first one was 1953, the latest 2015. They have over 80 fragrances in their catalog. The first was for men was called Lauder for Men, which came out in 1985. When I think of Lauder, I think for men their most popular fragrance is Pleasures, which has a very loyal following. To be honest with you guys, this house really wasn't on my radar. I have one fragrance from them on my to-buy list, and that is called Beyond Paradise for Men, which I still have not purchased. When I saw Intuition at TJ Maxx, I wasn't interested, but I did look at the notes online, and the notes got me interested, so I went ahead and purchased a bottle. This one dropped in 2003 and was a collaboration between four perfumers: Yves Cassar, Lois Evans, Pierre Warnier, and Eleanor Massenet. So, did too many cooks spoil the broth here? We shall see. Notes on this one are daffodil, cucumber, walnut, and cardamom at the top, wood and earth in the middle, and sensual amber in the base. I paid $30 for 50 ml, and that does sort of seem to be the going rate. I've seen it a little bit cheaper and more pricey at department stores. Now, as far as your presentation goes, your box says Estee Lauder, or Lauder Intuition for Men, 50 ml, barcode and batch code at the bottom. It's like a red with a gold stripe running through it, just some information on the bottom. And the bottle has sort of an interesting shape. It is sort of indented in the middle. It says Lauder Intuition Men, a sticker on the bottom, plastic cap, gold atomizer, decent spray. So certainly nothing too fancy, just sort of a very basic bottle, but with a kind of neat design, I guess. And I have to tell you guys, this is a really good fragrance. It has a freshness to it that not many other fragrances do. It's unique. I'm not one of these guys who enjoys generic freshies, and thankfully that's not what you get with this scent. And I'll tell you what this scent reminds me of quite a bit, and that's the highly coveted and discontinued Dolce & Gabbana's by Man. Now, that's a scent that I really enjoy, and I tried to figure out what the identifying note is between the two fragrances. And for me, I think it comes down to the fact that they both contain walnut and nutmeg. They both have this spicy, nutty freshness, which I find very intriguing and unique. I hope to review By Man down the road. This one is different for a few reasons, and really the first one is that even though it's not in the note breakdown, it does open up with a green apple note. A green apple and a cucumber note. So it's very fresh, green, and watery, really pleasant for warmer weather. Now, as it dries down, it gets spicy and it gets woody, and that comes from the nutmeg and the cedar and the patchouli. So think really fresh and vibrant opening with the cucumber and the apple, sort of a nutty, spicy middle with the walnut and the nutmeg, and then a base with woods, amber, and patchouli. So really a well-constructed and composed fragrance. I think it blends well, and there really are three identifiable stages throughout the fragrance. Obviously, the opening, the heart, and the dry down. And whenever a fragrance does that, I think the perfumer has done a good job. You know, too many fragrances just sort of stay in one place and don't evolve, especially quite a few designers, at least in my experience. Longevity and projection are just average on me for this fragrance. It's a freshie, so therefore you get about what you'd expect out of a freshie. 4 to 5 hours of projection, maybe 6 of longevity with light sillage. Is this signature scent worthy? I think it is for someone out there, without doubt. I think so. For me, it's a good scent for the spring and summer. I could see it working in the fall, but I think it's probably going to do its best in the spring. I think it's pretty masculine, could be unisex, and is an excellent work scent that could be worn in casual situations. If you weren't able to get this or like the idea of this but wanted something different, the one that I would recommend to you is Dolce & Gabbana's By Man, but that is very expensive because it is discontinued. But Almond Cucumber by Shea & Blue does sort of have that nutty fresh feel. This scent does. Finding a cheaper scent than this one, like this one, I think would be pretty tough. If someone were trying to convince you to buy this fragrance, I'd say that I think they'd say that it's a nice stand-in for Dolce & Gabbana's By Man. Lauder makes quality fragrances, and this comes at a very good price point if you can find it at that price point. On the flip side, I could see someone saying, hey, do you really need another fresh scent in your collection? This isn't that different, and maybe you want to check this one out before committing to a full bottle. Where I fall, guys, I really enjoy this one and the 2 scents that I have purchased from Lauder. I'm going to give Intuition for Men a 7 out of 10. Performance isn't anything special, and I hate these sort of cheap, plasticky, lightweight caps personally, but this is a quality scent, and it really shocked me. And I like to give points to perfumers, or in this case, teams of perfumers who step away from making fresh scents smell aquatic. I really appreciate embracing materials like cucumber and walnut to make fragrances smell different. And I lost my decant of By Man. Actually, I didn't lose it, but when my bookcase with my fragrances collapsed, my 5 ml decant of By Man broke, and I haven't found something close to it yet until I found Intuition for Men. My takeaway with this one, guys, is that I'm going to look seriously at the House of Estee Lauder because I'm very impressed from little I've seen from them. And when I see another men's scent discounted from them, I'm not just going to pass it by and sort of laugh it off. I'm really going to think about it because I'm really impressed by what I smelled from them so far. So thank you guys for watching this. I hope you have enjoyed this review. Go check this fragrance out, and I'll talk to you guys again soon.
I got a bright future, neck like a full moon. Buy what we want, spend what they want. Young, rich, hot nigga, everything she wants. Triple beam scales got me under deep spells. Kiss my forehead.